Welcome back to CP24 Breakfast. Well, COVID-19 appears to be impacting the food supply industry once again this year.
It is really hard for me, especially at Christmas time, to have to call and cancel these orders.
The smokehouse that supplies Etobicoke retailer Honey Glazed Ham Company is closed because of COVID-19. And across the food supply industry, prices are going up due to a shortage in supply. Some retailers are saying you can get product if you're willing to spend a lot of money. The shortage of traditional festive menu items has people turning to specialty items, but can still expect to pay a higher price for those. Sylvain Charlebois is Senior Director at Agri-Food Analytics Lab, Dalhousie University, and joins us live now on CP24 Breakfast. Sylvain, so great to have you with us again. We learned so much from our last conversation with you when Nick was not on holiday, but it's just me today. So thank you for joining us. Let's talk about this. People are having a really hard time finding the key items they need for their festive holiday meals, and this is in the second year already that this is happening.
Yeah, that's right. Well, supply chains are much slower and less efficient, and when that happens, of course, you see inventories get lower, prices do go up, because if it takes longer, it will cost more to get products to market, essentially. So that's what's happening right now. We're not looking at a food insecurity situation. I don't think Canada will actually become food insecure. It's just it's a bit messy out there when it comes to supply chains. So don't be surprised if your favorite retailer has run out of your favorite product. You may want to keep an open mind as much as possible. There's a shortage for a lot of different products out there right now.
Yeah, and what are some of those products? We've been reporting on this honey glazed ham that's been hard to find, as well as candy canes and some sweet things. Are you hearing anything about those items?
Well, think of anything that would be very popular this time of year: candy canes, liquor. If you go to the liquor store, you'll actually find that perhaps the LCBO is short on a few products, especially products that are coming from abroad, because everything that's moving on water is actually even much more slow. Things are moving much more slowly. Now, the one thing that you want to keep in mind because of Omicron is that, well, logistical companies are actually facing different new protocols. And so when you actually face new protocols, then all of a sudden it slows things down. So we're seeing the effects of Omicron on people, of course, in Ontario and elsewhere, but it does have an impact on supply chains as well.
Okay, and what factors are really affecting the supply chain? We've talked about Omicron and the pandemic, but how much, and I think we touched on this before, does climate change impact this? And do you think climate change will have kind of a long-lasting, permanent effect on our supply chain when it comes to food?
Oh, absolutely. Every year, climate change or the weather really will have an impact on everything we eat, really. This year, input costs, grains are much more expensive, including coffee, cocoa, vanilla. I mean, all of these products are actually more expensive. So companies who manufacture food not only are having a hard time reaching markets, but they're also having a hard time getting ingredients to make the food they manufacture as well. And of course, you need people to do the work, and people are getting sick. They have to follow specific protocols. If they are infected or they are exposed to someone who was infected, they have to isolate. So that really slows everything down, unfortunately.
Okay, and Sylvain, you also mentioned that cheese and dairy, those prices are expected to go up in 2022. So people should really have a field day with them during this holiday season if they can, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a cheese lover, 2022 might not be a great year for you. As of February, we are expecting dairy product prices to go up significantly. Dairy farmers will get more for their milk, 8.4%, which is unprecedented. So obviously, cheese manufacturers, yogurt manufacturers will have to charge more to grocers. And guess what? When you show up at the grocery store, you're probably going to be asked to pay a little bit more.
Okay. And Sylvain, I'm very curious about this supply chain issue because we've seen it with rapid tests. People collecting them, hoarding them, reselling them for a higher price. We spoke to some people that worked in restaurants and shops saying, hey, you can get the item you want if you just throw more money at it. How much of that is true? And should people be paying twice as much for a turkey or a ham this Christmas? Is that even ethical?
Not really. I mean, you have to, this is about food. So my area, of course, is food. And if you charge a lot, I mean, it becomes an ethical issue for sure, and a moral one as well. So there's plenty of food for everyone. If you're hoarding or if you're charging extra just because there's some rarity in your neighborhood, think again. Be nice. This is the time of year to think about your community. This is about love, friendship, and compassion. So think about those things before you're tempted to charge a little bit more.
Yeah, we really don't want to see a black market for holiday food. That would not be a good way to go into the new year.
That's
All
right.
right. Yeah, no. Okay, Sylvain Charlebois, always a pleasure to chat with you. Take care and happy holidays. Stay safe.
Happy holidays to you as well.